It's still there. So you just want to go to Facebook, the
Yeah, we
Facebook
may
and
have to go
YouTube.
to Facebook. Yeah. So we tried, y'all. We were gonna
Guys,
try
if
to
you can, go to our Facebook. We're going to post it on Facebook so you can join us. Please, 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 please. Thank you in advance.
Yeah, so we're gonna be on Walking in Wholeness LLC on Facebook or on our personal pages. So
Yep, and I'll
check
make
us
sure I
out.
plug it. Yep. Get there.
Okay, we tried. At least we know that happened.
Yeah.
So all right, so we are live on Facebook. Hello, everybody.
Good
So let me
evening.
get this.
No, sorry. Did you tag me?
I'm about to share. No, I'm about to share it now.
Okay.
Let's see. Hey, y'all, welcome.
Good evening.
This is
What?
going to be a great conversation. We just
You can baby.
every time. Hold on just a second. We just got to get it shared to our pages.
But then we're going to get started.
Yes, we are, because we have so much to talk about. And Facebook won't let me be great today. What is happening? Hold
I'm
on a
sharing it to
second.
mine now.
Okay, you see it. Let
I
me
saw it
see.
when you're walking and wellness page. Yes.
Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay. I was sharing. I do this every week. I share it the wrong way. So I always have problems. Okay, here we go. We are live. Okay. All right. So I am ready for this conversation. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Relationship Talks. If this is your first time, I am your host, Siobhan Carter, and I am the You Relationship Coach. And what that means is I am passionate about all things concerning relationships, especially the relationship that you have with yourself. And so I am so excited about tonight's conversation. And I have a very special guest that will be joining me tonight. So I have the pleasure of being joined by none other than the urban informer himself, Mr. Vernon B. Kelson II, his whole name.
Yeah. I'm still getting used to that.
Many of you probably know him as Kels, Kelson. So yeah,
Mhm.
I'm so excited that you're going to be joining us tonight. And why don't you introduce yourself to the people before I tell them some
Well,
of
I
the
think you did a bomb job, but I can. As Siobhan said, Vernon B. Kelson II. I'm a junior, or you might know me from Kels. Kels in the afternoon, urban informer, cooking with Kels, Blake's dad, and now author. So I'm all that.
all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
And I connected with Kelson last year through
Mhm.
our mutual friend, Monique. And I'm so grateful that she reached out to me. So I'm not only the You Relationship Coach and the founder of Walking in Wholeness, but I am also the founder of Purpose Publishing Company. So I'm a coach, I'm a publisher, I'm an author, I do all these great things. And so we connected last year so that we could get started on this amazing book project. So this is the proof copy. That's why you see across the top. We should have our shipment in soon of the actual books, but this is the
Yeah.
proof copy of just the two of us that Kelson wrote and has now published, and that we are promoting and so excited about. So that's what we're here to talk about tonight. We are here to
Mhm.
talk about a single father raising a daughter. What
Yeah.
you know, so there's so much that can be said about this conversation. And I think it's a
Mhm.
much needed conversation. So let's get started. So we're
Okay.
talking about this book, just the two of us, a guide for single dads raising their daughters. So what is this book about, Kelson, and what prompted you to write it?
It's about me doing that little thing calling me daddy right now while I'm talking. No,
Right.
Blakey, I'm talking, okay? Give me 1 second.
Because
It's
this is
basically,
real life, right?
yeah, it's part of my life now. But no,
Mhm.
it's basically about me being like a single father, and how I dealt with how my world changed like that, and
Mhm.
how I'm surviving as we went through the pandemic, and as I'm dealing with my own personal feelings from my relationship and everything. Let's just try to figure out how to co-parent and be the best support system we can be for, our daughter.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have some congratulations. So Dexter says, congratulations
Nice,
on the
Dex.
book.
Get your copy.
Please get your copy, y'all, because this is a great book, and we want to promote this narrative of, Black men taking care of their children, because some believe that Black men don't, and this is a prime example of a man who does. So in this book, you are very transparent about going from being a husband to becoming a single father. Tell us more about that journey.
It definitely not what I wanted to do, but something I had to do due to the decision that my ex-wife and I made. And we go from, I guess, prior to when the 2020 pandemic kicked off with the coronavirus. For me, it kind of started in like December, after divorce being finalized and us relocating and separating, and then me trying to figure out how am I going to balance work life, being a father, and make it all work, plus making sure we washing our hands and sanitizing and keeping everything clean and keeping ourselves, safe. And then because of the virus, not being around family as we were always used to. So it's just a lot of things going on.
Wow. So that's a lot. So you are in this confined space with your precious daughter in this new space, of being.
Yeah, it's my first kid.
Yeah, right. And then you're single and away from family. So it's like, what in the world do you do? How do you care for this baby?
It was, I promise you, like, of course, when you got like your niece and your nephews and stuff, it's different than having your own, because your niece and your nephews, you guard children, you can send them back to their parents. When it's your child, they can go in the other room for like 2 minutes and they back in your face. Or even like this weekend, I had planned, I wanted to go put, flowers on my mother's gravesite and go see my sister, but I was sick. But when, Blake came back home, ain't none of that matter. I still had to get together to make sure she ate dinner, make sure she was ready for school the next day, stuff like that. So it's no break.
Yeah. And normally you hear in separations and ending in marriages, you hear the children usually go with the mother, right? And so in this instance, Blake was coming with you. So what adjustments did you have to make in raising your daughter by yourself?
I guess when we was at unit, if I had to go somewhere to work, she'll be with her mom or a family member. But now it was just like, because you're with me, if I got to go somewhere, I got to figure out where you can go, or guess what? I can't do what I have to do.
Yeah.
But being in media and being, a manager, you always gotta show up. Ain't no out, office closed. No, you always gotta be checking your phone, on your email and stuff like that, or emergency calls coming in. So you always gotta be. I'm just learning how to juggle. I never knew it until 2020.
And I remember you talked about that in the book. You were saying you used to be such a stickler for time and, with other people, like, why aren't you on time? But now being a father, like, you saw a whole different perspective.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, because for me, I've always been a very stickler on time. I think because my grandfather, he was in the military, he was in church. So at a certain time, you better be up getting ready. And so I guess that plus being in radio where time is very important, I just got used to it. So when we have an event, or say you got an appearance somewhere, you're supposed to be there at least 30 minutes prior to, and you're not there, I'm on your tail. But when I became a father, and I realized I always could be there 30 minutes before time, or just getting there really before I got to get on the mic, because I'm dealing with my child or getting her to where she needs to be.
Yeah.
I kind of, now I get it. I think I was probably one of the last ones out of my staff and my colleagues at the station that didn't have kids.
Okay.
And now I got to see what they was going through.
It's like, I understand now. Yeah. It's so funny. I don't have children, but I think being around people with children, I understand. It's like it's given me a greater appreciation for things like that. Like you just can't control it. You can't control what they do. They have their own little minds. and just things will happen that throw you off schedule. And so you just have to roll with it, I guess. Yeah.
You might think you're wearing one outfit, they have an accident, change the whole outfit.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you talk about balance.
Another thing for me, it was like I never liked anybody in my backseat of my car. Now I got a whole damn car seat in the backseat of my car.
A whole little person back there. She probably talking. And does she drop stuff like in the car where you have like crumbs and stuff?
Well, no, I still don't play that.
Okay.
We don't do anything, but she has toys. Every time we go somewhere, can I take 2 toys? But it's usually 10. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm used to my house being pretty kept together. I have toys at the front door, the office, my room. Like it's just like, you know what? I used to get mad, but now it's like, you know what? For what? If she's a child, just deal with it, you know?
Absolutely. And I want to say to the people watching, feel free to ask any questions that you may have for Kelson. We would love for this to be an interactive discussion. If you have some burning questions about what a single father goes through that we aren't talking about, in the moment, just feel free to chime in. Or if you have an amen, that you want to share anything that Kelson is sharing, we would love to hear from you as well. So when you were talking about balance earlier, how do you balance work? You have a new cooking business, cooking with Kales, social life, raising your daughter. How do you juggle and manage all of that?
Well, I think the first thing comes first. I gotta, even though my bills, they gotta be paid. So of course the job is important, but her well-being and her is always first for me at this point. Before, when it's just me, it could just be the job myself. But now I always got to make sure she first, which includes me making sure that the main job, I always, dot them I's and cross them T's, So like for a day for me, like I will get up, I'll get like probably like, I usually wake up 6:30 Saturday, now 5 o'clock in the morning, wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, scrolling the net. And most children, you would think they'd be sleeping till 8 o'clock in the morning. This girl, Dad, can I give you a hug at 5:30? You don't go back to sleep. So then she LOL, pick me up. So then I usually go get in the shower while she's watching TV. She lay around like around 7. Then I start getting her ready for school. Drop her off. Because the pandemic, we're not working in the office. We're working home. I'll come back home, work, pick her up, come back home, cook dinner, maybe finish her work, give her a bath, clean the kitchen, put her to bed. Then finish her work, or hear her call me daddy again.
Right.
Maybe, go to sleep or try to watch TV before falling asleep.
Right, because at the end of the day, now you're tired, so the TV is watching you. Yeah. Wow, what a schedule. So Monique has a question as you're talking about your schedule and balance and all of that. Do you want to get married again?
Can I take a drink? It's water, by the way.
That's all right.
Do I want to get married again? I think I'll say yes for now. But I think next time I want us to be best friends. You know what I'm saying? Like really like best friends. You know what I'm saying? Not to say things would happen for us was fast, but guess what? That's how we wanted it. We were comfortable with it. So it worked until it didn't work anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think what I've learned is make sure that you make sure y'all like super tight before you decide to go to the next step.
Yeah, that's so important. So it sounds like you said, it sounds like you two were on the same page as far as the pace that it went. But for you, you just desired to do something different. You tried it that way and it didn't work out. So you want to do something else,
And I say take my time again, because honestly, like going through everything we went through, and I thank God I'm in a better place now. But that was like, for me, it was like very, very dark. Because to me, I look at it as, because I lost, like, of course, you may not know, I lost both my parents, one of my best friends, a close cousin, and so to me, this was like another death. Divorce court, you know what I'm saying? So it was wild. So the next one is gonna be the last one.
I know that's right. But I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of people don't understand that divorce does feel like death, because here you are entering into this situation where you're looking for, till death do us part, and then you part while you're still alive,
Yeah.
and so it's like, wait a minute,
That's not what we said.
that's not what we said. So it's like there's an adjustment to a new normal, so yeah.
And like I said, our goal now is just trying to be the best parents we can be for Blake.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Opal has a question. She says, do you see yourself having more children, or are you one and done?
The crazy thing is, I do want more kids.
Okay.
And everyone asks me, do you want a boy or girl? I gotta say, like, I love being a girl dad. So if God bless me, give me a healthy child. But if I could, work it out, I definitely want another girl. I love being a girl dad. And I just feel like it's just like a bond between a daughter and her father. It's just crazy because they just love on you. They so sweet. I like all that.
Yeah.
The sad part, and I'll admit it, it's scary, like raising a black boy in our society today. It's scary being a black man.
Yeah.
So I would definitely, if God bless me, have another child. Definitely I would love to have another daughter. But as long as she's healthy, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Kelson wants to have another child. And I love that you said you want to be a girl dad. So you mentioned some of the things, but what are some of the things that you just love about being a girl dad?
Like I said, just like how they love you, they want to cuddle you, give you hugs and kisses. Like Blake, she could do something. And she say, "I'm sorry, Daddy, I love you," or just randomly she say, "I love you." You know what I'm saying? And I love it. I don't know. It's just I just love being a girl dad.
Yeah.
You get to put their little clothes on, be fly, take pictures, and I don't get it. Maybe she watches her aunts and her mom and everything, but she like taking pictures, posing. Like, what are you doing? And how do you know how to pose?
Oh my gosh, you can see her little personality, because you can see it in the pictures, her little self, like you said. So, yeah, it's so hi, Blake. There she is. What we're talking about.
Come here.
Yeah, so this is who we're talking about. So y'all get to see her.
Look, she home. I gotta fix her hair. All right.
No judgment. No judgment.
I'll play by this one.
I know that's right. Don't come for her. So I love it. So would you say that being a father changed you in any way? Like, there are some guys who are just kind of real hard and stoic, and then they have a child, especially a daughter. Did it melt your heart, or what kind of changes did you see in yourself after having a child?
I will say I've always had like respect for women and everything. I think just having a daughter, having a daughter just made me have even more respect and admiration for women. You know what I'm saying? And make you be more gentle and stuff like that. I would say. Yeah.
So let's talk about your village. How important is it for a dad to have a village?
It's important because I'll be real. I ain't know nothing about doing no daggone hair at all. And so I would call my sister, call my cousin, or just some of my close friends, and I'm like, "How you do this? What I got to do?" Like, of course, her mother wasn't around to do it. I had to do it. When she go to school, just we were going elsewhere during the weekend. So it's important for things like that, or just like when you need to vent because you're so frustrated, you can call your village. Yeah. Maybe what? I need to get away for 30 minutes. Can you come over here and watch my child? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just want to see somebody else that love them too. So use your village.
Yeah. Did you look at YouTube videos to see how to do her hair?
Of course. There you go, baby. Of course I did. Okay, Blakey. They said hi.
Hi.
Okay.
What's your dog's name?
What's her name?
Ariel.
Ariel.
Hi, Ariel.
Let her finish. Okay, I get some strawberries when we finish. Okay, I get some strawberries when we finish. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Got Bravo with strawberries, so it works.
I know. I was just gonna say yeah.
Strawberries.
I love it. You gotta figure out the words. Oh my God. I'm telling you, that's how it is.
That's something I learned though.
Yeah. Like, let me see. Because like you said, you're always going with you being, a supervisor and just in management and radio. You're always going and just trying on your phone and stuff like that. So I guess you have to try to figure out, how to manage all of that.
Yeah, I don't think it's even though the book is, I call it a guide, but there's no guide for every child. You learn your own things. With the book is just sharing my experience, and maybe it might help you. But it also gives because ladies, I get it. I know sometimes we can be crazy and do things like but guess what? We got feelings also,
Yes.
And so that's what the book talks about. We got feelings also. We want to be heard. And it's not so much what you say, but how you say it that's gonna make us react.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I remember when we were going through just the reviews of each chapter. What I really appreciated about your writing style, your vulnerability, like you really go there, with your feelings and talk about just not what you think, but how you feel about. So I think it'll give women just a more intimate look into the mind of a father and a man, and just how actions of other women, how that may impact another man, because for a lot of times we act like y'all don't have feelings, right?
Yeah, and we do believe it or not. We might be, a little drop here or a little empty, but we got feelings here.
Exactly. So Monique has a question. She says, how do you handle when she asks for her mother, and are you offended by it?
No, because it's her mother. I would never want to keep her away from her mother. So when she asks or she won't call her, I'll call her. I will sometimes. It was like, I'm right here. What do you need? But like, it's a mother. Everybody wants their mother. So I had to, okay, let's make it happen. Because again, regardless of how we may be at that moment or the time, she's innocent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, her happiness and her being being the center, that's most important.
Yeah. Now, in the book, you talk about potty training, hygiene, hair washing. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, what is the experience like just trying to learn about that? Because you're a man. This is a little girl. How do you handle those?
Listen, I never really understood the importance for females from wiping from front to back. I had a daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want no infection if you run the wrong way. And, us guys, we don't have to worry about that stuff. We handle business, shake it, and keep moving.
Right. Yeah.
But it's totally different. It's totally different for, for women and little girls. And then the potty training, I think we're almost there. Like, shout out to everyone that's been helping, at the child care center and, family and friends. It's been rough. I just knew I was gonna be done buying pull-ups and wipes. No, not yet. But like I said, she's gotten better. Now she's getting to the point where she'll tell me when she got to go. Sometimes she really do. Sometimes no, it's not. But it's been a learning process. Definitely. And then girls are emotional. Yeah, little girls especially. So I gotta watch how I tell her no or look at her because she would start crying. And then I gotta apologize and I get the daddy, I love you. Then I really feel bad and
so she looked up after that. She looked up when you said that about apologizing.
I'm talking about her.
That is so sweet. Oh my gosh. I love that we get to experience you being a dad right here,
And she's so cuddly, so I like that too.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So, yeah. So in the book, so we talked about this in the book, how you developed a greater appreciation for parents and the flexibility after, becoming a single dad. So it's just giving you a different perspective about
Mhm.
it. So, what do you want women to know when dating a single dad? What do women need to know?
You gotta have patience.
Mm.
That's most important. I'm going to say that if we make plans, be on time.
Yeah.
Because we done planned for it. We done got a sitter. You know what I'm saying? Be on time, be courteous. We got to be back by a certain time. Time is important. Don't play with it. Please don't.
No.
and understand that we may not always be able to get away, but when we are, let's definitely take advantage of it and enjoy ourselves.
Yeah. And you talk about an example in the book. I remember you talking about an example about time where somebody was late, and so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
they were late. It was like,
and the crazy part is like probably like October of 2020. Yes. That was the last one I went on to. That's crazy.
October 2020. Yeah, because that was a little rude. I was like, yeah, leave. So yeah. So that
be on time.
So, be on
that goes for like men or women. If you're dating one with kids, be on time and be courteous of it.
Yeah. And I think it's good to know, especially if you don't have kids, some of the things you just wouldn't understand that a parent has to go through, So it's just understanding, just being considerate of time and what you had to go through just to be on the date, So.
Yeah, because them sitters, of course you got close friends and families, but you still gotta be courteous of them and get back in a decent time.
Yeah.
But you be too late because she gotta go to bed as well. So
right. So overall, what would you like people to get from this book that you have written? I'm trying to get it in the camera.
What I like for them to get, I would like for them first off just to get it. Thank you.
That part.
Secondly, I want them to know, like I said earlier, that us men do have feelings as well. I want them to get what it's like being a single parent from a dad's point of view, because we always hear from the mothers, but not from the dad. Oh wow. And like you don't gotta. It's not about bashing at all, but it's about just sharing our truth and telling you some of the things that I went through and some things that were going through my mind and how I raised my daughter.
Yeah. I love that.
And balancing life.
Yeah. So balance is just all of that stuff, because I think it's important. I think women will get a different perspective, like I said earlier, from reading this book and reading it from a man's point of view, because we hear so many stories about women and what they go through as single mothers, but we don't often hear from single fathers. So I really that you're writing your story in this book, and hopefully just inviting other men to share their stories, whether it just be getting on a platform and talking, in that way.
You know what's crazy? We announced it on Monday. Since then, I've had like a couple of guys that would just share their story with me and what they're going through. Wow. And I'm like, God, what are you doing? I didn't expect on this. Well, I'll get women saying, thank you so much for doing this. I was a girl dad, and thank you for helping change the narrative. And the overall goal, that's what I want. Because I think the conversation needs to start happening. So that's my goal with this.
Oh, it's so necessary. It's such a needed conversation, and it's funny because I come from the opposite. I'm not a girl dad. My dad wasn't there. And so I think it's so precious when a dad is there and being attentive and being present in a daughter's life. So it's just so beautiful. So I thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what's next for you, Kelson? What's next for you, and how can people stay in touch with you?
Well, hopefully, Oprah picks us up, be on her book club, New York Times bestseller.
Please and thank you.
But just continue to help get the word out about single dads and parenting, and help the conversation and fathers connecting, and hopefully other fathers who may not be stepping up, they step up to the plate, because whether you got a daughter or a son, they need you. And just helping us to build that, that relationship. So hopefully doing some book signings when the book comes out on June 7th, 2021. And then hopefully just spreading word about the book and just talking about having a conversation.
Yeah, this is gonna be so good. So tell the people where they can buy it. This amazing. But look at the back cover, y'all. This book, it's just so good. It's just good.
You can,
so where can they buy it?
You can buy it at purposed.publishing.com.
Purpose Publishing Company. Yep.
.com.
Purpose Publishing. Purposed.publishingcompany.com. And it's also in the comments. /Kelson.
Yep. And if you don't remember that, just hit at Urban Inform on my Instagram. Hit the link in the bio.
Mm-hmm. All of that. So
yep.
All right. So we have
also, one. And then you can cook with Kels, doing those cook classes. Be back. Had to get this book out first, so I'm all over it.
I know that's right. And listen, take one of those Cooking with Kels classes because I took one on Valentine's Day.
Well,
that was good. It was so
the Caesar soiree.
Yes, it was so good. So
and that's the one that I started during the pandemic as well, because like you got so many people who don't know how to cook. You got more people being home, like, yo, what can I do? What can I do? Well, guess what? Go to the grocery store. You don't gotta be a top chef. But some of the things you like when you go to restaurants, let me help you learn how to cook that stuff.
Yeah. That's so important. So Shantae is my cousin. Hey, cousin. So
hello,
she
cousin.
said it takes a strong man to do what you're doing. Keep your head up and you will get stronger as she gets older. Aww,
thank you so much, Shantae.
Yeah, that's lovely. So any last words you want to leave with the people before we end tonight's conversation?
Just thank you for even opening up your mind to read the book, to hear about the book, and fathers, let's get right. Let's do what's right, and take care of our children. No matter what, keep the child first.
I know that's right. Blakey, you want to say something to the people? You want to say anything?
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
Hi.
Hi.
You want to wave at them?
Well, I truly appreciate you. Thank you for this being your first live interview. So this is great. And it's going to be many more. So feel free to reach out to Kelson if you want him on your platform and just help us to push this book. It's such a needed book to have. And just it's going to open up so many conversations for girl dads, for women in general. So we want you to just support this Black man and get this book.
Just in time for Father's Day.
I know that's right. Just in time for Father's Day. So June 7th it officially releases, but you can get it right now. Pre-order right now so that you can have yours when it gets released. All right. So thank y'all for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And until next time, good night.
See y'all. Thank you, Siobhan.
Bye.